In this video, we're going to have a bit more of an in-depth look at how we can edit regions. We've got 3 different regions we're looking at on the screen now. We've got some audio regions. We've got a drummer track region or a drummer region. We've also got a software instrument region, which is normally called a MIDI region. So I'm going to actually go to the Apple Loops browser right here. And I'm going to try and find some kind of a 2 or 4 bar drum loop. Let's go to genres here, and I'm going to see if I can find a funk drum loop. I'm going to go to instruments, and let's go all drums. Let's see what I can find here. Okay, I like this one here. Throwback Funk Beat 1. I'm going to hit the little heart there and pop that in my favorites. So if I pop my finger down on the name there and hold it, and then start to just move that around, I can find a spot where I can pop that in. I'm going to throw that on a new track. Okay, so it's automatically looped that for me, which I do not want. I'm going to click once on the track, on the region rather, and then I can trim that all the way down to the original length. If I click off of there, you'll see that that loop little edge there has gone away. And when I click on it again, it's just a trim tool. Let's solo this track by using the track controls, which we looked at in a previous video. Here we go. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit, just using my fingers, 2 fingers to squeeze that out. So we have an extra option when we double click on this region, which we haven't looked at before, and that is the ability to split this into 2. And we have to pop the playhead where we want this to be split. We double click on the region and we select split. Now I pop my finger down on that scissors icon and drag it down. It's now chopped that. So now we have 2 separate regions. This is really handy if we've imported external drum loops, or we like the first half and we want to loop that, but we don't like the second half. We can also delete that if we like. There are some other options here under, well first, before I go into settings, we've already looked at loop. Now we've looked at split. Cut, copy and delete are fairly straightforward. We can rename this region, and I can call this Funk Beat A section, or I can maybe call it verse. Now I can start naming some of my regions, and it just makes it a lot easier when I'm arranging. When I double click on it and select settings, we have a whole new menu item that comes up here. We can do all sorts of things. Now this is one of my favorite features in a lot of digital audio workstations, and it's only come in the last 3 or 4 years, is the ability to alter the gain of individual audio clips. I just love this because I might have a clip and then it's just a little bit too loud. There's 2 clips on the same track, and rather than going in and using automation, which we will look at in a later video, I just quickly want to bring this down a couple of decibels. And this is a great way to give it a little boost or a little cut in audible volume of that region there. So looping we can do from here as well if we want to loop that, but I tend to just do that from the main track view. Follow, tempo, and pitch is a item where if we do a global transpose or we change the beats per minute, a lot of the Apple loops will actually follow along. If you don't want them to follow along with the pitch or the tempo, you can switch that off. We can transpose the audio up as many semitones as we like, or down. Well, probably about an octave would be as much as you want to go. Let's see how far it will actually let me go. I've never tried. So 1 octave is as far as it will actually let me. So you not only can you transpose MIDI, you can transpose audio, although it uses a pitch changing algorithm to do that. So it will sound a little bit funny, especially if you're using a voice or a drum sample or something like that. When you pitch it up and down, it will sort of degrade a little bit in quality. We can also speed up the loop. We can make it 2 times or half time. Let's listen to what that is like in half time. Because we've gone to half the speed, this region now should be twice as long. And there we go. So it was originally just a bar long. Now it takes up 2 bars, and we'll have a quick listen there. You can hear, this is what I'm talking about. It tends to sound a bit funny when you stretch it out. It does sound a lot better in the other direction when you double the speed. Let's have a listen. So this can be fun for experimenting with various genres of music. So we can also reverse this region, audio region. Let's have a listen to that. A lot of fun to be had with reverse effects, especially on vocal and instrument, well, any kind of sound really. So a lot of these things will apply to the software instrument regions. Let's go up to one of the MIDI regions that we have up here, the software instrument regions. I can pop my playhead, say right here. I can split that, I can rename it, and I do have these settings here as well. You'll notice that we have some different settings because this is a MIDI region. We have the overall global velocity we can change up and down. Looping we've looked at. We can change the quantization from this menu. We can also do the double speed or half speed and the reverse like we did with the audio. However, with the MIDI, it's not really going to degrade or make it sound funny because it's just going to change the rate at which we're triggering those software instruments. So that's a lot more you can do. You can have a lot of control over your arranging when you're getting towards the end of your song creation process. And that's an in-depth look at regions.